This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, there's something for everyone at Christmas in Cunningham. See what interests you as we talk with one of the organizers. Hello everyone, I'm so happy all of you tuned in on SSPTV and SSPTV.com and now in HD on Service Electric Cablevision, channel 513. Let's get to the information. Here's your local headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Family and friends are coming together to help a Freeland family who lost everything in a terrible fire last month. This Saturday, a special fundraising event will take place in Weatherly to help the Smith family. Fire destroyed their home in Freeland back on November 13th, leaving Eric and Danielle Smith and their 3 young sons, ages 8, 9, and 10, with only the clothes on their back. Danielle tells us that they made it out thanks to their 17-year-old black lab, whom she called a hero. Danielle says that she and her husband are amazed by the outpouring of support from the community and from many people they don't even know. The family is still in need of curtains and a freezer, and all of the children's toys were lost in the fire. Now, one of the boys, he loves the Ninja Turtles, another is into wrestling figures, and another loves Legos and penguins. Cindy Gerhardt, a family relative, organized the fundraiser for her cousin Eric, who is originally from Weatherly. The event will feature a tricky tray auction, bake sale, and food sale. It will take place Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. inside the pavilion at Tweedle Park in Weatherly. Donations of tricky tray baskets and baked goods are needed. Anyone who would like to help is asked to contact Cindy at 570-427-4197. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce is hosting a free information session that will provide valuable information for local nonprofit organizations. Chamber President Mary Malone explains that the program will focus on a new procedure for requesting funding from PPL.
PPL has just launched off this year their foundation, and so they're changing some of the ways that they reach out and touch the community. So Alana Roberts, our community relations person in our area in Luzerne County, is going to be with us on December 18th to talk about specifically the areas that the foundation is focusing on. It's an online application, and to answer any questions. So I would encourage any nonprofit in the Greater Hazleton area who would like to come to the session just to call the chamber office, and we'd be glad to sign you up and give you the opportunity to meet Alana and ask those questions.
The session is next Friday, December 18th from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. at the Luzerne County Community College's Hazleton campus, 100 West Broad Street in room 209. To reserve a spot, call the chamber 570-459 or 455-1509 or go to hazletonchamber.org. It's almost time to break out your Hazleton Integration Project party hats. Next week, National League Manager of the Year and Hazleton's own Joe Madden returns to the area, and he'll be a part of a number of events with HIP. On Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Hazleton One Community Center, there's going to be a Coaching the Coaches Clinic with Madden, who knows a thing or two about coaching, and Chicago Cubs pitching coach Chris Bosio, Penn State University head coach Rob Cooper, and Dr. Ken Ravizza, a professor of applied sports psychology. On Thursday, HIP will be hosting a press conference and then a fireside chat with Madden, ESPN's Tim Kirkchin, and former Major Leaguer and current ESPN analyst Rick Sutcliffe. Friday is the 5th annual holiday celebration at Genetti's that will feature many celebrity guests. Right now, former Red Sox great Manny Ramirez is set to appear. Saturday is another HIP tradition. The Hazleton Kids Have Talent show will take place at the Alice C. Wiltie Performing Arts Center in the city, and then they will cap everything off on Sunday with Joe Madden's Thanksmas meal for those in need being served at the Hazleton One Community Center. For more information on these events, you can contact HIP. Tickets go fast for these events, so if you can't make it to an event, we will have coverage next week. And also, check out the Standard Speaker. Puppies, a story from Santa, food, entertainment. Yes, I'm describing the best day ever, and yes, I'm describing Christmas in Cunningham. Let's check out my interview with one of the organizers for a more in-depth preview. So yes, it is the 3rd annual Christmas in Cunningham, and just like a full-grown Buddy the Elf running around New York, this thing is now full-grown, and we're here with Lacey McGowan, who's on the committee for Christmas in Cunningham. 3 years, can you believe in only 3 years how big this has got, and why do you think that is? Why is it growing so fast?
It's fantastic how much it's grown. I think everybody just wants to get involved in the community spirit, the Christmas spirit, and it's great for families. It's something to do, and it's a positive event for our community.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on. We'll put up some of the events. There's some new events, though, coming this year. Can you tell us about what's new at Christmas in Cunningham this year?
What's new at Christmas in Cunningham this year is that we changed it to a daytime event. Okay. So it's starting at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and the parade now begins at Christ Lutheran Church at the top of Main Street and ends at the Borough Building. We've also added Santa Claus, who he was there before, but now he's going to be reading books and interacting with the children a little bit more. And we've also added a pet parade as well. So if you come with your pets and they're dressed in costume for the holiday season, you could win a special award. And we ask you to bring anything for the Hazleton Animal Shelter to donate as well. And we have entertainment throughout the whole event from 12 o'clock until 5 o'clock p.m. when it ends.
This has turned into an all-day thing, something for everyone. Even some of the local businesses, Cousin Joe's getting involved, the Cunningham Brewery we were talking about, I'm sure some others, so you can get involved with the businesses that are right along Main Street. And it's a beautiful time of year. Now, you grew up there, I believe, or in the area, if not, correct me, but why? Cunningham's a magical place. People compare it to, my wife does, Stars Hollow and Gilmore Girls. If you could picture that, it's like a Christmas card.
Yes. Cunningham is the perfect place to have an event like this. It's so picturesque. We're hoping for a tiny bit of snow, but not a lot. But it's just a warm feeling and a great atmosphere. So.
And there will be food and entertainment as well.
Yes, food all day long, entertainment. And we actually, in addition to Santa, we have some other special characters coming. So we have Elsa, we have Olaf, and this year we're actually adding the Minions, in addition to Minnie and Mickey and the Grinch and some other special friends that I won't ruin at all. So
good job working with all of this to coordinate it. And it's so busy, and I'm sure it's hectic. It's the holiday season. You're married. Why take the time out to do something like this? What do you guys get out of it, out of the committee?
Honestly, we just want to give back to the community. All of us work, live, and play in the same community, and it feels nice to give back. The whole point of the event is that we give all of the donations to the Valley Food Pantry that feeds over 60 families a week. So it feels great to give back, and it's important to teach the younger generations to do that as well. And we also donate all of the toys received to Brandon's Forever Home, which is a local children's advocate in our community as well. So.
We went up there last year. I ate everything, though. I stopped at every single vendor and just couldn't stop. It's a great time. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season. There's also going to be a run this year, a 5K run. You're not an official event, and your event hasn't made it until you have a 5K run. Christmas in Cunningham now does. We'll talk about that more in the coming days. Lacey, we appreciate it. Good luck. Get out to Cunningham.
Thanks for having us.
Talk about that race right now on FYI. Run, Rudolph to the Christmas in Cunningham Classic 5K race and 1 mile fun walk that precedes all the other events on Saturday. Participants will get cookie medals. I almost want to blow out my knee again for one of them. Registration is $25, but how about this? If you bring a toy for Toys for Tots, it's only $20. You can register online or bring a toy for a discount the day of the race at the John and Ruth Gould CVCO Recreation Center from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. the day of the race. Here's the race director. Why did you want to do this? Why bring the race to this area and this time of year?
I am an avid runner, and I always felt that it's important to give back to the community. And when we reached out to Christmas in Cunningham, they were very receptive about starting an event, and we launched our inaugural 5K.
Remember, cookie medals, and then stick around for all the fun in Cunningham this upcoming Saturday. Proceeds from the race will go to the Children's Miracle Network and the Cunningham Borough Park and Recreation Fund. SSPTV is inviting you to share the holiday spirit by joining us for a very special taping tomorrow at the Laurel Mall. Our very own Sam Lassant will be joined by none other than dear old Santa Claus for a special taping of the Sam Lassant Show. Join Sam as he reads letters to Santa at 4 p.m. in Center Court at the Laurel Mall. And don't miss the wonderful Apostolic Faith Church Christmas Carolers as they carol their way throughout the mall this Saturday starting at 1 p.m. And be sure to check out the holiday shopping hours for the Laurel Mall. You can also find the mall's hours by visiting laurelmall.com. Great events and great shopping. It's all happening at the Laurel Mall with extended shopping hours this holiday season. Later on FYI, Standard Speaker sports editor Dave Seaman breaks down the NFC East race, plus we'll talk local sports and the college football bowl season. After this break, more holiday safety tips from the West Hazleton Fire Department.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We're
We're pleased to be joined again by Brian Cara, who is the Deputy Fire Chief for the West Hazelton Fire Department, to talk about safety, especially when decorating for the holidays. Chief, I know you said there's a thing called an octopus that many of us are guilty of doing when we're decorating and putting up all the lights.
True story. There's only so many outlets in the house, and we're plugging in how many sets of lights, and so people just use the old adapters and make an octopus out of their outlets. There's only so much amperage that's supposed to be running through those outlets, and that's a major issue. You know, don't overload an outlet. Rearrange some things in your house if you want. A little change, a pace for you. Move a lamp, move a TV, do something. Don't overload the outlets. Also, power strips, they're convenient, but only plug in the amount of things and use one power strip per outlet. Don't overload like that. The other thing a lot of people like to use, they like to use extension cords. If you are using an extension cord, make sure that that's also not frayed and in good shape, and also that you don't have it circled under. If you only need 5 feet and you have a 10-foot extension cord, take the other 5 feet and flake it out, sort of like you would a hose. Keeping in mind that when you kink a hose, it takes a lot to get through the water. Well, when you kink an electrical plug, that's more resistance that goes through there and could cause a fire hazard also. So you want to avoid that outlets. You want to avoid curling up extension cords. Fire safety, a lot of electrical fires are caused from that. Also, if you're using outside lights, make sure that they're made for outside lights. Do not use inside lights outside. And again, you want to make sure that the coating on them are good, and if not, upgrade to the LED lights.
And I know we've heard of fires over the years from people using maybe a turkey fryer not in the proper way.
Yeah, and deep fried turkey is good, but don't deep fry a turkey inside your house or your garage or any attached portion of your house or on your porch. You're going to deep fry your turkey, take it outside and do it, make it a family event, make it fun, but don't do it inside your house. That's, lack of a pun, that's a recipe for disaster. Also remember when you're cooking or baking, you don't want to be walking away from your stove when you have things on it. You don't want to be walking away from your oven, leaving them unattended, leaving your house. That's asking for trouble. Don't become a victim. People become victims because they don't allow themselves to be. Use common sense.
And heating this time of the year, it's colder, we're turning up the heat, or we're adding a fireplace that we haven't used in a while, or maybe we're bringing in a heater. Are these all safe?
Well, they're not all safe. We try to discourage people from using the old kerosene heaters. They had their time and place, not anymore. There's the infrared heaters, which are very, very safe. Keep in mind that kerosene heaters, they burn fossil fuel. They give off carbon monoxide. That's the first thing. And while I'm on carbon monoxide, make sure you have your CO detectors and your smoke detectors in place. Now more than ever, there are so many causes that there could be for a fire. You need to make sure that your family's safe and they can get out. And never take your batteries out of your detectors to try to power toys that Santa might have brought. If Santa's going to bring things that need batteries, why don't you give them a hand and make sure that you have batteries on hand. The only time you touch the batteries in your detectors should be to change them to keep your family safe.
And clean the fireplace.
Oh yes, absolutely. If you're going to be using that fireplace, fireplaces are beautiful to cuddle up by, but you need to make sure that chimney's been cleaned for this year, that you're burning the appropriate wood in there. You're not going to want to be burning green wood that's going to give off more creosote. And also, you hang your stockings with care. Make sure they're not going to light off. So you want to make sure that any toys or presents or stockings or anything like that are a safe distance away from that fireplace. That is a source of ignition.
Very important advice from Deputy Chief Brian Cara from West Hazelton. I hope that everybody follows your advice and you don't get any calls, not only over the holiday, but all winter long.
Amen. Thank you very much. I hope not to.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Lisa.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
It's not very seasonal outside, so I shot the Christmas tree inside here at SSPTV for our weather shot. Lisa Sugared and Anne-Marie Kistler decked our halls. Great job, guys. Very Christmassy inside, outside, not so much. By the way, happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends out there as well. Now to our local forecast from the National Weather Service tonight. A slight chance of showers after 8 p.m. Mostly cloudy. Our low will be 39 degrees. South wind outside from 5 to 7 miles per hour. 4-day outlook on FYI. Thursday will be partly sunny with a high near 50 degrees. Thursday night mostly cloudy, low around 41 degrees. Friday looks great, partly sunny with a high in the lower 50s. Friday night will be mostly cloudy, low of 42 degrees. Saturday, partly sunny. We're in the mid-50s. Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low of 46. And then on Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high near 56 degrees. Sunday night, a chance of showers, 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low of 47. Let's move later on to our Pennsylvania midday winning lottery numbers. Pick 2, 22, pick 3, 099, pick 4, 1099, and pick 5, 81044. And before we go to break, we have our home of the week. Check out this beautiful, spacious log home in pristine setting on an oversized lot in Eagle Rock Resort. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, large kitchen with granite countertops and stainless appliances, a 6-person breakfast bar, and a nice loft game area. This home is listed at $375,000 and is a must-see if you're thinking about a log home. For a personal tour, you can call Diane at 570-384-1362. We'll celebrate Dave Day when we come right back.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Here comes another Dave Day. Get ready for action and excitement. Dave Stevens, sports editor at the Standard Speaker, is back with us. And Dave, you know when something's so bad you just can't look away? It's kind of like, I think, a lot of reality TV and maybe why people watch me on FYI. I think that's the NFC East this year. It's almost intriguing. And you see these teams struggling and sometimes playing good football, but now everyone's just paying very close attention to it, especially Eagles fans. They were pronounced dead, Dave, the Thanksgiving weekend. The season was supposed to be over. All of a sudden, tied for first place after beating the Patriots this past weekend. Just what do you even think of the NFC? Are you enjoying watching it?
It's competitive. Let's say that. I mean, you look back early in the season and you thought, well, the Eagles are going to be the favorite to win the division. They lose their first 2 games. They look like they're dead in the water. Then Tony Romo gets hurt, and then the Redskins have a couple streaks. They can't win away from Washington, but they can win at home. The Giants can't put away teams in the fourth quarter, so it makes for an interesting division, that's for sure.
So the Eagles, you were telling me, control their own destiny on the way out. You think they're the team to beat right now, as crazy as it sounds in the NFC East?
I will reserve comment on that until week 16, week 17. The Eagles do play the Giants last week of the season. They play the Redskins and Giants to close the season. But like you said, the destiny's in their own hands if the Eagles take care of business. But they have to worry about the Buffalo Bills this Sunday. Not going to be an easy game. LaShawn McCoy coming back to Philadelphia, probably with a little chip on his shoulder, no pun intended. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles react to LaShawn McCoy coming back to town.
Locally now, Dave, getting basketball, all the winter sports really underway, and not a bad weekend for some of our local teams as Hazleton area boys pick up a win over the weekend. The girls finished second place in their tournament, Dave, but they ran into a very talented Harrisburg team, Hazleton area wrestling team. So a great start for the local teams. What did you take away from the first weekend?
Just a lot of action. I think a lot of teams are on their way to doing very well this year. Like you said, a lot of success this weekend. The Mono area boys winning the tournament at Panther Valley, beating Jim Thorpe, and then beating Marion in a rivalry game, probably the first of 4 or 5 times that they'll be playing this year. So Coach Ethan Eichhorst has the Golden Bears continuing what they do every year, is just win. Marion started with a win over Panther Valley before losing to Mono area, and then they came back with a loss on Monday to Lehighton. So the Colts are going to be back. They're still working in some football players, and a lot of players. Coach John Patton has to get acclimated into a rotation. They'll be fine. And like I said, the Hazleton area girls, they're small, but they're going to have big things too ahead of them.
I like how Joe Gabbio said, I read in the Standard Speaker, listen, they pressed in that game against Harrisburg. He said, we didn't care, if they figured it out and if they were beating us by X amount of points. It didn't matter. He wanted to see what his girls were made of, and he said he was proud of them. They might have been tired, but they made it through that game. They pressed the entire game. We'll see what happens there. Dave, for the Hazleton area boys, we'll put up the score from last night, but when they played Milton, I read in, also in the Standard Speaker, very good season last year. How good of a team was this that Hazleton area beat this year?
They lost some players from last year, but there are some players back. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be able to match the height and the depth that the Cougars have this year. It's a unique combination, and we're going to see how much that plays out going forward.
And now one more topic, Dave. It's almost bowl season. It's coming up. Of course, we have Army-Navy this weekend. The weekend after, we'll jump into college football bowl season. Other than the Tax Slayer Bowl with Penn State and Georgia, what's maybe a game that you're excited about?
I actually have 2 of them, and both of them involve Big Ten teams. The Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame, Ohio State, both high-powered offenses. outstanding running quarterbacks, outstanding receivers. The defenses are going to be put to the test in that game. And on the Michigan State-Alabama game, you have a clash of styles there. Alabama is, typical Southeastern Conference team, typical Alabama team. They're going to rely on the power game of Derrick Henry and the powerful defense that they have every year. Michigan State just finds a way to win. They grind out the win they grinded out against Iowa in the Big Ten championship game was vintage Michigan State. And if there's a team that epitomizes their coach more than any other in the country, I don't know. Mark D'Antonio just has that stoic look on his face all the time, but it's all business, and that's what the Spartans do. They come to play every week, and then they end up winning with 10 or 11 wins every season.
I think it was Paul Feinbaum, Dave, who said the Big Ten is the best conference in college football this year. Now, we'll see. They have the definite chance to prove it in all these different bowl games. We'll talk about the Tax Slayer Bowl with Penn State in the weeks to come. It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95, plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy birthday to Joe Marquez. Love from your family and friends. In our Talk of the Town report, St. Peter and Paul Lutheran Church, 660 Alter Street in Hazleton, will be holding their annual cookie sale on Saturday, December 19th from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The public is, of course, invited. And finally, you're invited to an Applebee's Flapjack fundraiser breakfast to support Big Brothers Big Sisters on Saturday, December 12th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Cost is $7 for adults, and kids under 10 are $4.50. For more information, just call 1-800-955-4376. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Patricia M. Steele of Newtown. Mass is Friday at 11 a.m. at the Church of St. Andrew in Newtown. Joan A. Voida of West Hazleton. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. in the Transfiguration Roman Catholic Church. Friends may call Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. The Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home is assisting the family. Lottie Ancharsky of Clares. Mass is Saturday at 11 a.m. in the Church of All Saints. Friends may call Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. The Stanley E. Anilowski Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. And Robert W. Frederick Jr. of Blakesley. Arrangements will be announced by the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Charles Hinkle of Locustdale. Charles, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Charles, if you're watching, let me know where Locustdale is. I'd appreciate it. Well, this is fun. Let's do it again sometime soon. Until then, take it easy, everyone.
I grew up in Pittston. I know what it takes to live in a small town. I know a lot of these people, and they know me.
And that's why I believe everyone should have access to high-quality, affordable health care. And why I'm pleased to tell you about a new choice, Coordinated Health. I want the very best for my family, friends, and neighbors, and I know Coordinated Health
Will bring a new level of patient care to the Wyoming Valley.
Life. It all comes down to the things you do, the places you see, the people you meet. It's all of the beautiful things, the incredible things, and the spectacular things that makes us feel unexplainable things. Life is going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun Pocono.